Welcome to the Canafax Podcast, where you'll find zero Dutch marketing, zero tomato tech, and zero GMOs. Just cannabis, the way it's supposed to be. The cannabis truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help my bud.
Welcome, everyone, to the podcast, episode 5. This podcast here is going to be a special one. I'm going to let you delve deep into the old school Ozmo breeding program. I've only discussed one other podcast on how I grow with the flood table and the clones. Well, this one, I'm going to explain how I do my breeding program. I've never told anyone this. I've never discussed this with anyone. And so you all shall be the first. And I probably won't do it after this. Okay. Today's gardening, you have perpetual gardening, where you have 3 rooms and you have a continuous gardening going, and pretty much you're gardening once a month. You're harvesting once a month. That is the old school way. It's perpetual gardening. I've been doing it for 40 years nonstop. I harvest at least once a month. I do the same thing for breeding. Perpetual breeding. I guess you never heard of that term before, now have you? Well, perpetual breeding without vegging. Zero veg. 128 clones per 4x8 flood table. Those clones could be different phenos. Those clones could be completely separate strains. Those clones could be any configuration that you see fit, depending on the breeding, what's your outcome, and what you're looking to get. You put the clones on the table, and you go directly to bud. No veg. 2.5 months, depending on the strains or whatever. There's your seeds. They could be hit from one male, multiple males. The configuration is how you see fit for the outcome that you're looking for. Okay, so now you got a perpetual going between 3 rooms or whatever, 3 tables. Could be 3 rooms with 30 tables. If you're looking for a 5,000 pheno hunt, like some so-called bigwigs do, that's only 40 tables indoors in 2 months with no veg. Over and over and over. Again and again and again. Not acres of property and all the work and all that. 40 tables. Say you have just 1 table. But you got 3 rooms with 1 table. You got a perpetual breeding program going. You're rotating them. Okay? You got seeds from 1. Those seeds from those, depending on what you got coming off the table, you take those seeds, you put those in rotation. They get started. They go into the clone. Once they get cloned, they get put back on the table. Then depending on what that clone needs is what you put it on the table and do with it. Whether it's a mass seed collection, then it's all 128 clones for 1 table. There's your mass seeds. If you're hitting it with 1 male, there you go. If you're hitting it with multiple males, there you go. If you're looking for phenos, 128 per table, there you go. Those seeds get started once again and put in rotation, and it goes over and over and over again with whatever configuration you're looking for, however configuration you want it. Never thought of it that way, did you? Yes, the clones only get 1 big bud and a couple buds on the bottom if you have different strains per table. But that's plenty of seeds to see what it is. I mean, plenty, more than enough. Then you can put clones back on there, do a mass seed of all one mom. However, the configuration is. The configurations are endless. However, you do it is endless. The research is endless. Finding stuff is easy and endless. And it goes on and on and on. Once the process is started, it's hard to stop, because once you stop, the whole thing stops, because it's a perpetual breeding program. Never heard of that before, now have you? Now I'm giving you this information because I want those so-called bigwigs out there in the industry to come back and say something better. This is how I achieve my breeding. With the configurations and everything, and you do it for 40 years, you get really good at it. Extremely good at it. Like I said, homie over here don't play with cannabis. I know my shit. So, let them tell you something like this and give you some old school knowledge like this, which I've never heard no one ever say it before. But I just told you. Stay high. God bless. Ozmo out.
Unveiling the secrets of Ozmolabs' top-shelf cannabis breeding. What sets Ozmolabs apart from the rest? At Ozmolabs, the art of cannabis breeding transcends mere cultivation. The meticulous process is akin to a symphony, with each strain curated to perfection, embodying the pinnacle of quality and innovation. The science behind top-shelf genetics. Ozmolabs leverages cutting-edge old-school genetic research to concoct their signature strains. Through a blend of old-school breeding techniques and technology, they unlock the hidden potential of each cultivar, resulting in unparalleled potency and flavor profiles. Nurturing excellence in every seed. From germination to harvest, Ozmolabs adheres to a rigorous standard of care for their plants. Every seed is nurtured with precision and dedication, ensuring optimal growth and maximizing the genetic potential encoded within, cultivating a legacy of excellence. With a legacy spanning decades, Ozmolabs has cemented its reputation as a pioneer in the cannabis industry. Their commitment to excellence and innovation continues to push the boundaries of what's possible, setting the gold standard for top-shelf cannabis breeding. The Ozmolabs experience, where quality meets passion. Stepping into the world of Ozmolabs is akin to embarking on a sensory journey to the past. Each strain tells a unique story, crafted with passion and expertise that is palpable in every puff. Experience the difference that top-shelf cannabis breeding can make and elevate your cannabis journey to new heights. Unveil the secrets of Ozmolabs and discover a world where quality, innovation, and passion converge to redefine the art of cannabis breeding, exploring the roots of old-school cannabis strains. Old-school cannabis genetics refer to the foundational strains that laid the groundwork for the diverse varieties available in today's market. These original genetics hold a special place in the hearts of cannabis enthusiasts and breeders alike. They are the building blocks of the modern cannabis industry, with their unique characteristics and effects shaping the way we perceive and consume cannabis today. Understanding the significance of heritage strains. Heritage strains, such as skunk, northern lights, and haze, have stood the test of time and continue to influence new hybrids and cultivars. These classic varieties offer a glimpse into the rich history of cannabis cultivation and consumption, providing a connection to the past for many enthusiasts. The distinct aromas, flavors, and effects of these old-school genetics showcase the diversity and complexity of the cannabis plant. Unraveling the genetic makeup of old-school strains. Old-school cannabis genetics are known for their stability and consistency, traits that are highly valued in breeding programs. These classic strains often exhibit strong genetic markers that make them reliable choices for breeders looking to create new and exciting varieties. By understanding the genetic makeup of these heritage strains, Ozmolabs has harnessed their unique characteristics to develop novel cultivars with specific traits and effects. Navigating the evolution of cannabis genetics. As the cannabis industry continues to evolve, old-school genetics remain a cornerstone of breeding projects aimed at preserving and enhancing the qualities of classic strains. By blending old-school genetics with old-school breeding techniques, Ozmolabs has created hybrids that offer a fresh take on familiar favorites. This fusion of old-school genetics results in a diverse array of cannabis varieties that cater to a wide range of consumer preferences. Embracing the timeless appeal of old-school cannabis, Ozmolabs' genetics library will always be completely separate from the current cannabis industry genetics pool. With hundreds of old-school strains, Ozmolabs has something for everyone.